Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not, funny show, reviews. I am Jen Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And today we're going to be reviewing, belatedly, unfortunately, but better late than never, but we're reviewing the 5th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it is entitled Truth, and it's coming to you from Disney+. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Stick around because I have opinions. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 5, entitled Truth. And boy, could you talk about a more appropriate title for an episode. Man, this is a heavy episode. But they started off, away from all the heavy stuff, unless you count heavy being the heavy hands that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier put on store-brand Captain America, off-brand Captain America. But I have to admit, that opening action scene, it follows on immediately after the vicious murder of one of the Flag Smashers at the hands of John Walker with Captain America's shield. How dare you, sir? How dare you use that shield in such a way? At least if you're going to be murdering somebody with it, let it be an alien or something, not a person that's saying I surrender. Come on, get out of here. Do better. We get treated to John Walker, maybe having a rage incident and coming to his senses, running away, as if you can run away from something like that, murdering somebody in broad daylight on social media. Yeah, cancel John Walker. You go ahead and put that hashtag up. Not as if, plenty of people have been saying, not my Captain America anyway. Well, really not my damn Captain America now. So, he murders a guy. Falcon and Bucky, Sam and Bucky, they're like, hey, you're going to have to give up that shield, dude. We understand, but you're going to have to give that shield up. That shit ain't yours no more. You done lost the privilege. You done lost your shield privileges, my friend. And he's not with it. I'm Captain America, damn it. I'm bam, bam, bam. I'm Captain America, beating his chest. And then proceeds a pretty damn spectacular fight sequence. And I love it for the fact that John Walker, he's got some skills. Also, he has, super soldier serum. Super soldier serum making him a little more formidable than maybe he would be. And Bucky kind of, taking some hard hits with him and having a tough time, surprisingly, with John Walker. So maybe he is the real deal as far as combat is concerned. We know he has no problem with killing people. And, of course, he actually tries to do that to Sam in this. What is going on in this guy's mind? Sam's not, because he wants to keep the damn shield. Come on, dude. Be better than that. But what proceeds is a pretty handy, at the end of the day, ass whooping on the part of, both Sam and Bucky, to put it down on a guy who's rage induced and all that other stuff, and he's mad. And, they manage to wrestle the shield away from him and break his arm at the same time and apprehend him. But unfortunately, Falcon loses his wings get broken in that. But, it's okay. He got Steve's shield away from him. And, what follows is basically, of course, anything you would expect. John Walker, he's defrocked. No longer Captain America. He's not court-martialed. He escapes court-martial because of his previous service. But he is discharged without he's not dishonorably discharged, but he's also not honorably discharged, and loses his pension and all that other stuff. He wants to defend himself. He wants to have some words, but he doesn't realize, hey, in a parallel, I will say this is actually a very interesting parallel, and probably something that a guy like him's never used to. He's the blonde haired, blue-eyed, all-American guy. He expects his government to stand up for him when he is, as he says, just doing what they told him to be, what they told him to be. He isn't used to the idea of being a convenient scapegoat, a convenient fall guy, a convenient person. When you're cool, when you can do something for us, we will love you. When you can't, throw you out like the garbage. Get out of here. We don't need you. Not used to that. We'll come back to that later. That same little sentiment when we come back later on in the episode. And so we see that Sam and Bucky, they kind of say, okay, well, we did that. Bucky's like, I got to go take care of Zemo. Oh, and he goes to take care of Zemo. All right, Zemo, for whatever reason, I guess he's like, I'm going back to Sokovia. Maybe he had the sense to know I can't run away like John Walker didn't know. And so he doesn't run away. He's in Sokovia, I guess, at a memorial. And Bucky comes up on him and it's like, hey, I could kill you now, but I totally won't because these people want you. The Wakandans come and they get him. It was a nice little scene, really. Zemo's not a great person. Let's say he's an awful person. He has good reasons for the awfulness. He's not a great person. I think he recognizes that. And he doesn't fight and doesn't try to run away or anything like that to get away from the Wakandans. I think he's a guy who made his bed, knows what he's done, and he's going to lie down in it. And he accepts his fate. In a way, you can sort of identify with him, even if he's a trash person. Let's call it like it is. He's trash. He's a trash person. He did some pretty horrible things, murdered some people. But, is he completely wrong? Not really. There's a lot of people in this show that are not wrong, and they've got the wrong way of going about things. And it's going to make them pay. And his way of paying, he's going to the raft for, quote, life. Don't believe that hype. I'll believe it when I see it. The only way a bad guy's gone is if they're dead. Moving on. So, at the same time, John Walker, of course, he's discharged and all that other stuff. And suddenly we have a surprise guest, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, coming in as the Contessa Valentina de la Fontaine. I think I'm saying that name right. A.K.A. In one guise or another as Madam Hydra. I suspect she will instead be a Amanda Waller type of person in the MCU, but we shall see. There is a little plot thread that's there. It's not the last we've seen of John Walker, not in this show, and probably not in the MCU. So we're going to follow that later on. Meanwhile, Sam he's going on his own little journey to kind of make sense of the fact that he has Captain America's shield now, free and clear. And what should he do with it? Well, what does he want to do? He wants to go talk to a man that knows a little something about the price that's paid to be a super soldier and to, possibly be a soldier and a warrior for the United States. And that is Isaiah Bradley, who we saw all the way back in episode 2. And was revealed a little bit of his story, just a little bit. In this one, we get the truth about his story, about how he was one of many black men in the post Captain America world, where they were trying to find this. The U.S. government was trying to find a new super soldier serum, and they tested many different versions on unsuspecting black GIs, and in the process, many died, and the ones that didn't die did get some form of Steve Rogers powers. Steve Rogers super soldier powers. Not all stable, not all, everyone was starting to die. And some of them, they were still sent on missions, even if they were kind of messed up. And Isaiah Bradley, he's the only one that survived. And he survived because, I guess he had the best version of the super soldier serum. But also, he goes and rescues some of those people that, some of his fellow black GIs who were left to die in the hands of the enemy. And in so rescuing him, we see the parallel here. Steve Rogers in Captain America the First Avenger goes in against orders and rescues POWs, and he's lauded as a hero. That's his coming out as Captain America. Isaiah Bradley does the same for his fellow GIs, and he's branded a traitor, and he's court-martialed, and he's sent to prison for 30 years and becomes a guinea pig and a lab rat so that they could try to isolate the super soldier serum from his blood. And as you can imagine, this is not something that endears Isaiah Bradley to the United States of America, nor does it make him feel very good about the experience of black people in America. Remember, this is a man who clearly was born, in the early parts of the 1900s. At the time that he was probably born in probably, I don't know, maybe 1930, somewhere around there. So his experience of racism and his horrible experience as a test subject and then a super soldier, sent to do Captain America stuff without getting any Captain America praise, and then when he does the right thing, he's sent to prison and experimented on. He is he has well-earned bitterness and distrust and may I even say hatred for the American government, and having gotten out and spent his time in the world, continues to believe has very cynical ideas about the society's ability to deal with race in any kind of meaningful way. And he says something that I thought was a very strong and tough to grapple with line. No self-respecting black man would want to carry that shield, and that's a hard truth to try to grapple with. You don't have to believe it or agree with it or anything like that, but it comes from a very serious place. It is not unlike many other people who have talked about being in the military or anything like that, being a police officer, because of all the abuses and the just horrible history that's gone on with these institutions, and the lack of trust and lack of the faithlessness of the U.S. Army and the government and everything towards Black Americans. It is a very powerful message to be given, and something that Sam has to think about. The truth is that Sam has to, he has to consider more than just the fact that he's friends with, Steve, and Steve gave him he gave him the shield. And what I love about this is that that's what they talk about. The rest of the episode is basically very much small moments, and of course there's a training montage, but there's a lot of small moments, a lot of talking, a lot of kind of teasing out the emotional and philosophical, the ideas of this whole show are really being teased out and kind of put on display in this episode. And one of it is, is Sam, who wants to change the world, should he be listening? Should he be going with Isaiah? Should he be going with, Steve? Bucky outright says, hey, after he hears Isaiah's whole story, because he knows about Isaiah, but his primary remembrance of Isaiah is as an adversary who almost killed him at one time. But now that he really heard Isaiah's story, he wonders, he understands, hey, when Steve and I thought about we should give you the shield, we never thought that there might be more to it since giving a black man the shield and making up Captain America. What does that mean? And that's ultimately for Sam to decide about. What does having the shield, being a black man, being Captain America, in this moment, in this time, considering history, considering what goes on in the country, considering all of that, how do you as a black man, put on that suit, wear that shield, and try to be the best Captain America you can be? Can you do it? Does it make sense? It's something he has to grapple with, and he does so in this show, and realizes he has to make the choice for himself, and he chooses to do so. There's a lot of, there's a lot more to that. There's the whole, the community aspect. They're trying to rebuild the whole ship, the boat. He's with his sister, their heartfelt talk about, him trying to save the world, and she, never, not really thinking that he abandoned them or anything like that. They reconcile a little bit and come to some understanding. There's a fun little bit of the thirst between Bucky and Sarah, Sam's sister, that's hilarious and wonderful to watch, wonderful to behold. I couldn't help but laugh. It's a good bit of levity in there. There's some great little visuals, like Uncle Sam. Sam he has the shield, and his nephews really, they don't have all the baggage that he has and that Isaiah had and other people have. And so they see Captain America in a whole different way. And then, of course, the training montage to see Sam really showing that he can be a worthy successor to Steve, even without being a super soldier. It's all actually very wonderful, and of course, they leave a little teaser at the end, like, he got a box from the Wakandans where they fixed up his wings. No, I wonder what it could be. I wonder, but all of that goes on, and then of course, so of course we know what's going to happen the next episode. The Flag Smashers are still out there. They're planning to keep on pushing forward with their goals. We know it's not going to be good for anyone that's caught up in the crossfire. And then of course we have John Walker, who's free to go, and he's turning his he's turning his garbage pail into his new not going to work at all, like the real Captain America shield. But so we're seeing the birth of U.S. Agent, a let's just say a meaner and less forgiving and way more like the way American policy is, kind of Captain America than Sam is probably going to be. It's all coming to a head. We know the next episode, 6th episode, the finale. It's going down. There's going to be a final confrontation. No Zemo on the way, and of course we got to figure out what the hell's going on with Sharon Carter over in Madripoor. Is she the power broker? Who the fuck is the power broker? We don't know. We're gonna find all that out in the finale to this episode. To this series. But that's next week. So, I love this episode. It was a little more quiet, like as you expect. They've been doing the odd number episodes have been a little quieter, not as much action. The setup for the final, the next episode. So it is more like that, but I loved it. There's a whole lot to chew on, a lot to think about, a lot to really ponder, to kind of stir around in your head. A lot of ideas. Great action when we had action. Great drama when we had the drama. Some levity, very very fun stuff. Love this episode. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you've seen it, but if you're not, hey, check the episode out. It's really, really great. It's way better than my recap. So, I liked it a lot, and you guys should be watching this. So, what did you guys think about this episode? And what did you think about my recap/review? I'd love to hear about it. Hit me up down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. We can chop it up, talk about more of this Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. And hey, are you subscribed to the Super Not Funny Show? You're not? Well, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Join the Super Not Funny Show family. And while you're down there, hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when we drop new content. And we're doing that every week. New reviews, new reactions, anything else that floats our pop culture boat, like the new Invincible cast, where me and my friend Lottie, we're sitting there talking about the show Invincible. You should come check that out. Come check out all of our other reviews, all our other videos. Thanks again, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, for joining me for this review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 5. Come back next week when we review the season finale of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Until then, I have been Jen Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you on the other side of the thread. Peace.